Hi everyone, in today's lesson we are going to look at rounding off. So what are you going to learn in this lesson? You're going to learn how to round off numbers to the nearest 10 and 100. So let's recap of what you have learned from your learning experience. So let's say I want to round off this number 22 to the nearest 10. So you have learned that when you round off to the nearest 10, you are actually counting in terms of 10. So 10, 20, 30. So 22, if we draw a number line, 22 is in between 20 and 30. Okay, and if you look at the number line, 22 is nearer to 20 as compared to 30. So when rounded off to the nearest 10, 22 becomes 20. And how we say it? We say that 22 is approximately equal to 20. And the mathematical sign is that two wavy lines that you see there. When we round off to the nearest 100, it's the same. We are counting in terms of hundreds, so 100, 200, 300, and so on. So 328 is in between 300 and 400. And looking at the number line again, 328 is nearer to 300 as compared to 400. So when rounded off, 328 is approximately equal to 300. Now this method of rounding off can be quite tedious because each time you want to round off, you have to draw a number line. So there is a faster way of rounding off, and that method is called the circle and underline method. Now before I show you an example of how it's like, I want you to listen to this very interesting rap. Sing along with the song if you want to.
Ready? Here we go.
So this is created by Mr. Aguilar.
Find the base value. Circle that digit, then move to the right and underline it. 0 through 4. The circle stays the same. But 5 through 9, adding 1 is the game. Now, flex your muscle, just like a hero. Digits to the right, change to 0. All the other numbers stay the same. Yo, you're a winner in the rounding game. You got that?
You got that, everybody?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
One more
Sing
time.
along, come on, even if you're at home,
People.
sing it
Here
again.
we go. Find the place value at. Circle the digit. Move to the right. And underline it. 0 to 4. The circle stays the same. 5 to 9. Adding 1 is the game. Now, flex your muscles, just like a hero. Digit to the right, turn into 0. All the other numbers, they stay the same. Yo, you're a winner in the rounding game.
Okay, I hope you have caught a little bit of how this method will work. So I'm going to show you an example. I'll show a few examples rather. So let's say I want to round off 2935 to the nearest 10. Okay, so I want to round off to the nearest 10. So the first step is circle the place. So I want nearest 10. So let's circle the 10th place. Okay, and then I will underline the one next to it, the one to the right. Okay, so if it's 0 to 4, the circle stays the same. But if it's 5 and above, you add 1. Alright, so because this is 5, I will plus 1 to this, and that will give me okay, so at this point here, this becomes 0. The rest stays the same. So this becomes 2, 9. Because I plus 1, this becomes 4. The 5 becomes 0. So 2935 is approximately equal to 2940. Okay? Right. Now let's take another example. This time I want to round this number to the nearest 100. Okay? So I want to round off to the nearest 100. So I want to round off 19,689. So because it's nearest 100, so let's circle the word 100. I will circle the digit in the hundreds place. And we'll underline the one next to it on the right. This is 8. So 8 is more than 5. So I will plus 1 to this. My 8 and my 9, those on the right of the one that I circled, will all become 0. Those on the other side, the left side, will remain the same. So this still is 19,000. This is plus 1, so 7, 0, 0. So 19,689 is approximately equal 19,700. I'll give you one more example. So let's say I got 9,975. Again, I want to round off to the nearest 100. So I will circle the digit in the hundreds place and I will underline that. Okay? Now because of that, this is 7. More than 5, 5 and above, I plus 1. Now be careful this time round. Okay, these digits will all become 0. But here, if 9 plus 1, it becomes 10. So I have 10, which is 1 and 0. 1 carry over. And because 9 plus 1 here also becomes 10, so my answer is actually 1, 0, 10 here. I have another 0 here. And then my 7 and 5 become 0. So 9,975, if I round off to the nearest 100, it becomes actually 10,000. Okay, so you need to be careful of the 9s, because the 9s, when you plus 1, it will be 1 carry over. Okay, so you need to take note of that. I'll give you one last example just to illustrate. 7,451. Nearest 100 again. Oh, sorry, okay, let's do this to the nearest 10. Okay, nearest 10. Circle this, the tens place, underline the one next to it. This is 1. Less than 5. 0 to 4. This remains the same. I do nothing to it. So this becomes 7, 4, 5, 0. Okay? So this is what we call the circle and underline method. So why don't you give this a try? Round off these numbers to either the nearest 10 or the nearest 100, depending on what the question is asking. Use the circle and underline method to help you. So what have you learned today? You have learned how to round off numbers to the nearest 10 and hundreds, and you have learned how to use the circle and underline method, which is a very fast method to round numbers off. So do you have any questions for me? Or any questions for your teachers? If you have, write them down. You can write it down in your video worksheet and come back to class. Let's discuss, let's learn from one another. See you back in class, everybody.